Da 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 da. It's been forever since we did a Love and Marriage DC recap. Literally, it's been forever. The last time that I even saw an episode was even before our sold out DC show at Union Stage. Look, it feels like a month. It hasn't been a month, but like 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since we talked about Love and Marriage DC. And to be honest with you, look, I'm very transparent with you guys. If I like a show, I tell you. If I love a show, I tell you. If I don't like a show, I tell you. It's not that no, I don't like this season. I was about to lie. No, I wasn't about to lie. Because I had to really think about how am I feeling about Love and Marriage DC? I mean, we already know that this season that we're watching, season 3, literally was filmed a long time ago. And what we have in this season, first of all, we don't even know why it took so long for them to put this season out. And as we're watching it, this beef just feels so like, and who cares? Who cares? Like, what are we really fighting about? And it seems like everyone is fighting over being right or fighting over their egos. That includes you too, Ashley. You are probably the biggest culprit of that. However, there's also context that we're missing. So I think that is also frustrating for the fans that are watching the show because they're sort of like, why is this way? Luckily, in the last 2 episodes, we finally got Charella back. Charella is a star. And I'm not saying that she can carry the show on her back. What I'm saying is that at least she comes in. She has a big personality. She's not afraid to share what she's really going through. She's funny. She's fun. I think I like the dynamic between Charella and Ashley. I think they would be really fun to watch on the show. But I also appreciate that Winter, although I still think Winter has a little bit of a tick. I'm sorry, Winter. It's true. I just felt there's a little bit. I have to say, though, Winter, when I watch you on your YouTube recaps of the show, you don't seem like you have that tick. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the edit. I don't know if it's when the camera starts rolling, that tick gets clicked off. I don't know what it is. But I do enjoy you a little bit more this season. But girl... Okay, we're going to get into it. I'm already starting. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. This is our weekly recap of Love and Marriage DC. If you still care. Just saying.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer. Just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse, you make a fire, I'll add the fuel, follow my lead, just watch the shoes, gotta turn the heat up, to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and also don't forget you can take us on the go by downloading our podcast, Kempire. That's where you can hear special episodes. That's where you can also hear our live recaps. I know some of you, not some of you, a lot of you have been asking, Kempire, I wish we had an audio version of this. I want to listen to you in my car. I want to listen to you while I'm running errands, because I take for granted that I do have YouTube Premium and you're able to listen to YouTube videos. So if you have that issue or you want to cut back, you know, it's a new look, everyone has budgets and things like that. And you need to cut back. You need to get rid of your YouTube Premium or something like that. Or you just like listening to podcasts. Well, listen to the podcast version of our live shows, but as always, you never know when I'm adding additional content there, exclusive content. Like today, we dropped our recap with Femtaro. We were talking about Wendy Williams. We're talking about the royal family. We're also talking about Portia and Simon Gobadia in the latest podcast episode. So be sure to check out that if you haven't already. And of course, additional special episodes. We did something for Black History Month. all kinds of really additional contents available on the Kempire podcast. Don't forget, while you're there on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating, because why? It matters. It matters. If you truly appreciate what we do here, that helps elevate everything that we do. So shout out to all of you that have already done that. I appreciate it. Also, I appreciate Philly. Philly, we are coming to your city this Thursday. Have you gotten your tickets yet for our Philly show at City Winery? I just finally booked my trains. I booked my hotel. I was just like, all right. There's so much to do even before getting to the show. Now I got to start preparing the show. Every single show of the Kempire After Dark live event is different, because every single week something different happens on these shows or in Hot Topics. There's a lot for us to unpack. The Risa Tisa of it all. We got to talk about the Wendy doc. We have to talk about Potomac. We have to talk about Beverly Hills reunion, Miami. So much to unpack. We have to talk about the Traitors. So much, so much. I got to stop scheduling these shows on Thursdays, though. The Traitors is about to end. So we'll have to talk about that another time. But I did upload here on YouTube some of my Traitors recaps that I've been doing exclusively on TikTok and on Instagram. So for those that don't follow me on those platforms, or you haven't seen them, or you want to see them all together, we just uploaded that yesterday with additional commentary that I added at the top. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. And if you're a member of the channel, we also posted the audio from our DC show. So be sure to check that out. You can also hear the DC show on our podcast, Kempire. All right. Enough of the commercial break. Is everyone here? Everyone's here? Okay, great. Don't forget to like the video, okay? Shout out to our channel members, and of course, shout out to our King's Guards holding us down all the time. They always make time out of their very busy lives to be here, and we appreciate them. So be sure to say thank you to our King's Guards. All right. So I didn't take notes. Oh, this is about to be a mess. And I have to recap last week's episode and this week. There was no episode last week. It was the previous week's episode. And last week, Carlos said on social media that we knew that this Wendy doc was going to happen and that no one was going to watch. I don't know if that was true, but I mean, smart. Looks smart. But last night's episode as well. So we'll briefly summarize what happened in 2 weeks ago's episode on Love and Marriage DC. I'll say this, Winter, and I said this before at the top of the season, I hate the fact that you had this man on the show only for you to break up with this man. You're sitting down with confessionals with him. Like, I feel like these situations, especially bringing a man on a reality, it's one thing to bring a man that you're dating on a reality show, but also to have him sit beside you, because especially for this type of show, the people that sit beside you are usually your spouse or your long-term partner. And I know in her head she was probably thinking, he's going to be my long-term partner. But at this point, they were only dating a few months. And now, especially now, it's got to be weird for her, because it's a year later. They're not together. It ended pretty badly, according to her. And it's just like, this man is sitting next. Oh my gosh, I have secondhand embarrassment. I'm sorry, Winter. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, like, I do have secondhand embarrassment, because I'm trying to think, if that was me, I'm like, oh my God. Especially, I don't know how bad it went down. We only got hints of how bad it went down from her. But it's just like watching him, and I'm starting to see the red flags as I'm watching him and the things that he says and does. I'm like, I don't trust him. But I also wouldn't be first of all, I wouldn't be bringing a relationship on reality television. I wouldn't be bringing myself on reality television. But this is why people like Winter are perfect for reality TV. They're okay with being this transparent with a new relationship. It's risky behavior, especially with a Carlos King production. I say all that to say, this episode from like 2 weeks ago actually started off with the fight between Ashley and Joy. They had an argument outside this suite. The argument goes back inside. We have Clifton getting involved in the conversation. We already know that DJ Quick had left the suite to go down to the court. So yes, Clifton leans over, and of course Ashley's reaction is like, first of all, I think no matter who it is, if they're leaning over you, depending on the person, remember Ashley's from Baltimore. Look, there's certain play people, certain things, certain body language. You can't do that with everybody because he's lucky her reaction wasn't boom. And I'm not encouraging violence. I'm just saying there's certain people that have different reactions. This is why you respect people's space. That's why certain people, you've seen it on other reality shows, when people start using their hands like this, or if they get too close to your face, you might catch a fade. You might catch a fade. I'm just saying. But I want to know what from you guys, how do you feel about a man? And look, I know in the next week's episode, Arena makes it seem as if that he didn't lean over. Clearly, he did lean over. Did he lean over in an aggressive way? Was he threatening? Well, here's the thing. I can't tell Ashley how to feel when a big man is coming over you and your husband's not there. What would Quick have done? What would Quick have done? What you doing down there, Quick? No, like, wait. Oh, here's the thing. I don't like Clifton's behavior because Clifton, very much like his last name, is petty, but his personality is far better for reality television than Joy's because he's willing to be messy. We've seen guys like Clifton on reality television, the Peter Thomases of it all. We've seen guys like Clifton, the Marceau Scotts of it all. We've seen guys like him before. All right. And that doesn't fare well for their relationships, but whatever. It doesn't fare well for the fans either. But when it comes to characters on a reality television show, I know producers love him. Okay. However, him getting involved in this ladies' conversation, I would just stay out of it. Here's the thing though, Ashley. You're filming a show. I forgot. I think I saw somewhere where you mentioned whether or not they were invited or if you knew that they were coming. Regardless, they're there. Regardless, you're filming a reality television show. Kicking them out because your conversation didn't go well, it gave immature. Because what you could have done is like, all right, we can't come to an agreement. Fine. We won't talk for the rest of the situation because she's already there. Kicking her out of the suite just seems petty, very much like their names. But at the same time, I'm just like, it seems like a little girl having a tantrum. And look, I get it. It's your suite. This is your situation. I don't know the logistics of the filming and who decided who was coming or if you knew they were coming. Because as soon as they came into that suite, Ashley, you were already rolling your eyes. And this is probably why you're having all of these tantrums on social media about how you're edited and how you would look on the show. Even before the show even aired, you were sort of letting people know that you're not going to look great on this season. However, I don't think you look worse than Joy does. I think both of you look pretty bad. At least with you, there's more there that I can see, and there's more potential for entertainment value and fun value than I see with Joy. Because what else does Joy have going on? What have we talked about in regards to Joy and her relationship or her storyline for the season? And I'm a strong believer that you don't have to have a storyline to be an interesting person on reality television. Charella, we don't know anything necessarily because she's not a full-time cast member, but literally in this week's episode, we get a little piece of what's going on with her. There's a lot of potential with Charella. There is no potential with Joy. The only thing that's keeping her alive this season is her storyline with Ashley and her fight with Ashley. In all fairness, when it comes to reality television, we are seeing an edited version. Doesn't mean that Joy and Clifton did not give production other storylines that they have decided not to focus on. I get that part. But based on what they've given us, and based off what we're hearing from Ashley's side, I will point out, and this actually came from Winter, who's friends with both of them, or used to be. Winter says that the reason why we didn't get a lot of Charella this season was because of Clifton and Joy. Because as you know, Joy knew Black, Charella's husband. Back in the day, they were in a group together, and apparently there was some sort of falling out. I'm guessing in the next episode or so, we will get a better understanding of what went wrong there. Or maybe not. Or maybe not. So the episode from 2 weeks ago, I think it was like episode 4. I can't remember at this point. I think we're halfway through. Thank God. Thank God. But anyways, I say all that to say, what else happened? Oh, so we finally got to see Charella. Charella sat down with Ashley in episode 4, I believe it was. And that's where we were like, oh, finally, Charella's back on the scene. And she's just talking about her struggles. She's like, I feel like I'm a housewife now, and that has never been what I've wanted. And based off my DC sources, Charella is very active in the DMV area. Like she really is involved in a lot of different things. But now she says she's feeling literally like she's depressed. She does not want to get out of bed. And again, immediately in the very first scene that we get with Charella, we're getting someone that's vulnerable, someone that is, transparent about what she's going through, and looked great. OMG, the hair was herring. I was like, look at Charella. I didn't love the first confessional look that they showed her. That first one with the red outfit. I didn't love her hair there. But the scene with Ashley, you looked good. Ashley usually looks good. But Charella with the hair, I was like, look at this. What's Charella's sign? Is she a Leo? Because with that hair, it gives very much Leo. But I bet she's a fire sign. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyways, I say all that to say. So we finally get an update in regards to Charella. And like I said, I like seeing Charella and Ashley together. We are planning a trip. Winter is planning a trip for the group, and this is going to be our very first Valentine's Day with what's his face. I don't even remember his name at this point. Damn, look, that is sad. I do not even. Oh, Yusha. Thank God I wrote it here. Thank God I have it here from that first episode. Oh my God! Thank goodness I wrote it down. Oh, she got a little bit of tick, that Winter. I tell you, it's all right. But Yusha. So he's uncomfortable with this, being their very first Valentine's Day. They're going as a group situation. I mean, I get it. They've also decided to not to be monogamous, but to be abstinent. And that is interesting. I don't know if I 100% believe it on his end. But you never know. I guess Winter will talk more about that later, maybe at the reunion, which they also already filmed. It would be different if we are getting these old episodes and they filmed the reunion recently, because now the cast is commenting on socials and it just feels like dated. And there's no word on whether or not DC got renewed. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to get renewed for season 4, because literally Detroit, which I don't think anybody was watching, got renewed, and they're currently filming, if not wrapped, they're filming for their second season. No promises on whether or not, because I didn't even finish the first season. Damn. And I wanted to. Shout out to Detroit. You guys want me to come there too, right? Let me know if you're from Detroit. Let me know. Let me know, Detroit. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. Shout out to Miss Bernice. Miss Bernice from Detroit. What up, though? Anyways. Yeah, so that first episode, it's just a rehashing of it all. Winter brings Raina and Ashley together. Ashley says that she's hurt. She opens up about being hurt. This could be this week's episode. I can't remember. It's okay. I feel like the stories haven't really changed from that episode to this week's episode. Let's be honest. But Ashley does open up about being hurt by the whole Arena part of the situation, because they really were growing a friendship. She literally, they make a joke about, because she gave her the friendship D, and then she's like, they just say the D. I gave her the D. But she really feels like, because they, here's the thing. I'm not sure if Arena just sort of goes with the wind, or she's just trying to play the middle ground and she can't do it, or does Ashley expect blind loyalty from her friends? I'm not sure if that's what's happening here, but it kind of gives that feeling during certain moments. It does kind of give that feeling, especially when we see the preview for next week. It's sort of like Arena cannot, tell her how she really feels, and them remain friends. Right now, they're not friendly, Arena and Ashley, like in real time. which is sad because we have to remember when they started the show, they weren't friends like that. However, they were building a friendship. Ashley says that, our families were hanging out. We were spending so much time. She seems like she's really hurt. We have to remember Ashley's a Scorpio, a water sign, very emotional. Look, very emotional, but also intuitive. Also very intuitive. It's sad. It's sad. And honestly, Arena, you're hitching your wagon to the wrong truck. Don't hitch your wagon to the Clifton and Joy truck, because that scene with you, Clifton, and your husband Jamie was like the worst scene I've seen this season. I barely was watching it. I was like, wait, they're dressing up and then I'm trying to hang out and take these pictures. I was like, this was rough. This was rough. But I also told you, any scene that I see with Joy and Arena, I'm like bored to tears. Anyone else? Am I alone in that? I could be. Look, if you're new to the channel, please understand, even if you don't agree with me, it's fine. It's all about how you share your feelings. Because you could just say, well, no, Kempire, I actually do. I thought it was fun. I really enjoy Clifton, or I enjoy, he makes the scene, or Jamie's a big personality. I can see that. But that scene with the couples, it felt forced, to be honest with you. It felt like they wanted to make a scene. They want to make it seem like they're having a good time. You kind of like, I don't know what they're doing over there, but we're going to make it seem like we're having a good time, like we're best of friends. It's not landing for me. It's not landing for me. I don't know if it's landing for the audience. But it's not landing for me. Because I remember I was working. I was, I like to, multitask. And I'm listening to the episode, and then I look up and I see that they've changed outfits, and I'm like, what is going on? What are we doing? Why are we dressed like this? And I don't even care about the dressing up part. It just felt forced. It felt like they were trying to have a moment. And it was just like, yeah, the moment is not here. Not with these couples. This is why I say, Arena, if you decide to choose this friendship and Joy and Clifton are not brought back next season, now it's just you and Ashley. And I feel like Ashley's never going to look at you the same after this. And honestly, the way that I'm set up, I wouldn't either. Like, I could be cordial, I could be civil with you, but I'm not going to be hanging out with you like that. And I think that's where Ashley's struggling this season, because she refuses to really engage with Joy, which is hard. And I get it. In real life, when I'm done with you, I'm done with you. But if I decide to be on a reality television show, this is about work. So this back and forth between Joy and Ashley, this last few episodes, it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch because it's not interesting for us. And it probably would be more interesting if Joy was better with her comebacks. You know what I mean? Joy doesn't want to engage. I think it was this week's episode or the previous week's episode. We're recapping both, where Ashley talks about the text message that Joy sent her. And I just feel like there's just something just inauthentic about Joy. And again, I didn't watch her on Ready to Love. And Ashley, you keep calling her a karaoke singer. And she's more than a karaoke singer. I mean, I ain't never heard a song, to be honest with you. You would think on Love and Marriage DC, they would highlight at least some of what she's doing. We've seen Winter in the studio, and according to Joy, she's a professional singer. Why haven't we seen Joy singing? We're talking about Clifton's beard oil. Sidebar, I saw that Joy, I think she's supposed to be performing at City Winery in Philly too. I don't know, in a few months, a few weeks, I don't know. However, I'll be at City Winery Philly March 7th, this Thursday. Be sure to get your tickets if you haven't gotten your tickets yet. We will be talking all that kitchen table talk. Maybe we'll talk about Love and Marriage DC if you want to. But at this point, we have so much to talk about. I much rather prioritize our time to talk about the things that we want to talk about. But if y'all bring it up, you will have a moment to ask questions or drop some tea during our short and shady segment. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I'll see you soon, Philly and Boston. Boston, I'll see you on May 30th. Nashville, I'll see you on July 11th. Atlanta, I'll see you on July 12th. And Seattle, are you in Seattle? Where are Seattle folks? Be sure to let me know in the live chat or in the comment section if you will be in Seattle on August 30th, I believe, that we're going to be there. Head on over to KempireAfterDarkLive.com/Seattle. All right. And links for our tickets will be available there. The same goes for Nashville and Atlanta and Boston. All of that ticket information is available in the description. But Philly, you're up next this Thursday. So I look forward to seeing all you guys and having a good time in Philly, right? Let me know what I need to do in Philly. I'm not going to be there long, but look, I mean, should I get a Philly cheesesteak sandwich? I don't really like, no. Never mind. What else can I get besides a Philly cheesesteak sandwich? Just asking. Anyways, moving on. Guys, if you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. All right. So Winter is planning this trip. She's inviting everyone, but not everyone wants to be with everyone. So Clifton and Joy have decided they're going to go on this trip, but they're going to stay in separate areas. Which is weird to me because I'm like, the beef between you and Ashley, is it really that deep that you can't stay under the same roof in separate rooms? Is it really that deep? I know it almost got a little, heated between Clifton and Ashley, but I'm just like, is it really that deep? But maybe there's context that we're missing. Or maybe I'm delusional. You guys will let me know. You always do. But I just don't feel like it was that deep. Especially when you're coming over regardless. You're going to have dinner there. Okay. Look. So as soon as they arrive, first of all, they're in the Sprinter heading up there and they're playing games and things like that. And they're asking questions. Ash is making faces when she finds out that Joy and Clifton are coming, but they're going to be staying in separate places. She was like, good. Lord. Anyways, so they finally get to this place that they're staying that Winter has gotten. Winter has a beautiful room. Ashley and Quick have a beautiful room. However, Charella and Arena, they don't have a bathroom. And here's the thing. I know some people be like, oh my gosh, it's not that big of a deal. Just share a bathroom. I think when you reach a particular age, sharing bathrooms and things like this on group trips like this is not the way to go. For men, it's a little different. We go in, wash our face, do that kind of thing, and do our business, and then we're done. For women, it's a little bit different. There's hair stuff, there's skin stuff, there's all kinds of stuff, okay? Especially if let's say, okay, I don't know if these women are going through their time of the month. Look, I grew up with how many sisters? I get it. What if you're having a time of the month situation? And it's not even just the time of the month. What if you got a number 2 situation? Like, you don't want to be mixing and mingling with people that you barely know like that. Because I don't know how deep Arena and Charella know each other to be sharing a bathroom. I just feel like you're grown. So Charella's running through the house upset. She's like, where's your room, Winter? But here's the thing. One of the most entertaining things for a lot of us watching reality television is when they're fighting over rooms or trying to find their rooms. I mean, sometimes it can be entertaining. Sometimes it's just draining. It's like, come on now. Just get the proper accommodations. So Charella's running through the house, and I'm just like, this is why we need Charella. I'm just like, this is why we need Charella. Do I think Charella was dead serious? Yes. But at the same time, I'm like, I enjoy her commentary. I enjoy her funny. Am I the only one? I was actually really happy to see her this week because it kind of broke up the monotony of what's going on in this group. All right. So what else did they talk about at dinner? So I have to say they did a nice job with the dinner. It was like a multi-course dinner. The food looked good. Winter and Yusha are, talking about, first of all, Charella was like, y'all not even married. Why y'all have the best room? Because she's hosting the event. So if you guys are not sleeping, if you're not having sex, Winter and Yusha, is the temptation, like, is this your first time actually sleeping in the same bed together? It makes me wonder. I'm just wondering. Is that too much temptation for certain people? I don't see why it should be. Like, you can sleep in a bed without being tempted, right? Even if you're really attracted to someone, you don't have to do anything. Sidebar, in not this week's episode, I think it was like the previous week's episode, they were talking about the bases. And I was like, I haven't talked about, the bases in a relationship in such a long time, like first base, second base. And I'm trying to remember, what is second and third base? because we know what home is. Is second base when you're feeling up on each other? Because she says that they were on second base. What's third base? Third base, the professionals? Look, the professionals? Y'all remind me in the live chat or the comment section, because I don't remember. Because you know the gay boys, the bases don't matter. It's like they slide into home, not slide into home. A Kempire After Dark. I mean, see, I'm limiting what I'm saying here, and I know for a Sunday you're like, that's limiting. Whoa, can you imagine the kind of kitchen table talk that we have at Kempire After Dark? Get your tickets, Philly. Get your tickets. That we could go really in. Anyways, I say all that to say. So the group is sort of like, first of all, I forgot that Charella and Black were the ones. Sidebar, Black also has a funny personality too. So them as a couple is interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if they get full-time status next season. Word on the street, the reason why we don't see them again this season is because of the situation with Joy and Clifton. But if Joy and Clifton are gone next season, honestly, it shouldn't affect. Even if they come back next season, Joy and Clifton, I want to see more of Charella and Black. They have interesting personalities and apparently are really ingrained in the DMV. I mean, everyone pretty much on this cast is. I can't say that there isn't anyone that's sort of been flown in. You guys will let me know that, because I don't know. The DMV, you guys will know better. Even though y'all say Baltimore is not part of the DMV, even though stop. We're not getting into that. We did that during the DC show. We've done it how many different times talking about the DMV here. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. A mess. Anyways. So Joy and Clifton end up coming towards the end of the episode, and they come in, they're like, hey, Black people. And it's tense. It's tense because there are a couple of people in here, Ashley and Quick, Black and Charella, that don't mess with Joy and Clifton. Clifton tries to give a pound to Quick, and he's like, no, we need to have a conversation. I don't know. And look, some people are saying Quick is just acting hard. Like, Quick, what are you really going to do? Don't sleep on small people. I'll just say that. And not to say he's a small person, but he's shorter than Clifton. And I get why he's sort of like, no, we need to have a conversation because I'm hearing about how you address my wife. All right. Sidebar, I didn't talk about Jamie and Jamie hearing from Arena that Quick didn't like the fact that Jamie didn't defend Ashley, which I could understand because we have to remember that these two couples have been spending a lot more time with each other. They're almost like family, according to Ashley, Arena, and Jamie. So Quick hearing that Jamie was there and he's just sort of like watching what's going on instead of stepping in and doing anything. So he's upset with Jamie as well. All right. But Clifton's sort of like, he's taken aback that, Quick doesn't want to give him a pound. All right. I'm not surprised. It will be interesting. I hate when the men start fighting and getting involved in the women's mess. And when I say get involved in the women's mess, not feminizing the men. Ashley, that was the other thing that I didn't like, because we talked about this recently on Love and Marriage Huntsville when Stormy did that to Marceau. And I always tell you guys, I know you don't think about this at the top of your head, the whole calling someone a sassy B word and almost making it seem as if a man being a female is a derogatory thing, emasculating that man. And I told you guys, for me, I feel like that's rooted in homophobia. And I know you guys aren't necessarily homophobic, but I don't think you realize what you are saying in that moment. Just saying. So I say all that to say I don't like when any of these folks do that, but I also get why certain people are like, I don't want men in women's business. Here's the thing. I think Quick is getting involved in this now is because Clifton got himself involved. I think in that moment, did he need to get involved or should he have allowed Joy to handle it? Just saying, the optics of this man that's a lot larger than Ashley doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. And immediately when she's getting heated, it doesn't say that what she's doing is right. But You step back. You let Joy handle it. You let production handle it. I say all that to say, if I had to rate last 2 weeks ago's episode and this week's episode, it's going to fall in the range of 4 to 6 and probably more like a 5, 5.5. How would you guys rate this week's episode or the previous week's episode? How would you rate the season so far? We're already, I think, halfway through. I believe there's only 10 episodes this season. How would you guys rate this episode of Love and Marriage DC? I mean, I liked DC when I went there. I was like, this is a great city, which I feel like there's so many great personalities just from our audience. I'm surprised that we got what we got on Love and Marriage DC. And this is why I think Charella's a great reality TV star. Because to me, I already get the vibe like she is DC. She is from the DMV. But that's me. That's me. Well, she's on the show. Doesn't mean that there isn't a bright future for her. I hope that we get to see more of her later in the season. And it will be interesting based off the preview to see them talk a little bit more about what went down between Joy and Black when they were in that group together. Because very much like what's frustrating with Joy is like, I don't trust her 100%. I don't feel like she's being honest with who she really is on the show. I don't. And it comes across that way. We don't understand the beef between you and Black. We don't understand the beef between you and Ashley. We have a better idea because we see it play out. However, I don't get it, girl. I get it. You are mad at her for revealing your marriage on the show. We talked about this endlessly. But for this to play along, to go along for so long, I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm ready for us to move on. And if you're going to come back next season, I don't know how. I don't know. Literally, before I decided to do this, I saw a little bit of a clip of Ashley's recent recap. And she says it's interesting. She doesn't know how they could move forward in a new season if they get renewed because no one is getting along. The cast is divided. And we've already seen this on like shows like Potomac. We've seen it on other shows where the cast is so divided. How do you move on? Especially when one side is not interesting television. Just saying. Being honest. I'm being honest with you guys. Live chat. How would you rate this week's episode of Love and Marriage DC? How are you feeling about it? Do you think they need to wrap it up? Do you want to see a new season? And if you do want to see a new season, what does that include? What does the cast look like? Let me know your thoughts. And if you agreed with some of the things I said or disagreed, it's all about how you share that opinion in the comment section. Shout out to our channel members. And of course, shout out to our King's Guards. And channel members, you can see, first of all, our senior royals can see our New York City show. Members, you can also hear our DC show as well here on YouTube. So be sure to check that out. But guys, you can also hear another version of the DC show on our podcast. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. And a new episode dropped earlier today with Femtaro, where we break down some of the stories in the headlines this week. Wendy Williams, the royal family, and Portia and Simon Gobadia. So be sure to check that out on the Kempire podcast exclusively. While you're there, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. Thank you to everyone that has already done that and has shared. You guys, I love the fact that when you see me, you tell me, yeah, I put my friend onto it, I put my coworker onto it, I put my family, my husband, I love that. Sharing is caring. That's the only way that we're going to continue to build the Kempire. Thank you all for being here. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, y'all. I will see you next week. Maybe. I don't know. I'll see you, Philly, Thursday. Can't wait to meet everybody. Bye, y'all.